In 2011, Grand Lodge of Nevada took on the task of finding ways to improve their leadership development programs and how they were presented. To accomplish this, we had to look at our existing programs, different technologies for presenting them, and which formats would be the most conducive to our members. After numerous discussions, we determined we had several types of personalities and different ways in which to present the leadership development programs. What we learned was that every type of technology and instructional format was met with some type of opposition. The first question asked, why is change so difficult to accomplish in our fraternity, and what is the reasoning for it? Research found that our current membership is composed of 5 generations, and each generation has a different personality and comfort zones regarding today's technologies. The older members are composed of the greatest generation, born between 1901 and 1924, and the silent generation, born between 1925 and 1945. The middle-aged members are the baby boomers, born between 1946 and 1964. The younger members are Generation X, born between 1965 and 1981, and Generation Y, born between 1982 and 2000. These two generations grew up with technology and rely on it to perform their jobs. They are plugged in 24/7 and prefer to communicate through email and text messaging, and prefer webinars and online technology to traditional lecture-based presentations. Are we prepared to receive the next generation into our fraternity? They are called Generation Z. They began in 2001 and will be eligible for membership beginning in 2019, a generation born with complete technology, personal computers, mobile phones, game devices, iPads, and the omnipresent internet. They do not know life without technology, and social media platforms are their way to communicate. They have virtual friends and prefer to communicate through electronic devices. With the definitions of the X, Y, and Z generations, we wonder why our membership is declining and why our percentage of membership retention and attendance is low. We then ask these questions: what do we do to combat these trends in our society? What are we doing right? What are we doing wrong? What do we do to change with the times? Even though we are starting to implement the new technology, we are still relying on the old communication methods of providing information and knowledge to our brothers and promoting our fraternity. One of the main focuses of the Grand Lodge of Nevada is to improve our methods of providing information and knowledge. A consensus of our members through questionnaires during the past 3 years tells us that we are not meeting their needs, and we need to redesign our current programs and provide superior information and guidance. During the 2012 educational seminars in Las Vegas and Reno, we had a total of 106 attendees, totaling 609 years of Masonic experience. At these 2 seminars, we asked attendees to fill out questionnaires. The following is a summation of the findings. On how can we improve the seminars? They wanted more time allotted for questions and discussion, implement more video in PowerPoint, improve the instructional methods, make presentations more stimulating, and increase the content covered in the seminar. On what kind of training and instruction would be most beneficial? The responses were: improve communication between Grand Lodge and the constituent lodges, make Grand Lodge officers more available to assist and work with the constituent lodges, how to best utilize our website and internet, proper use of the Masonic Code and ritual and standard work, proper investigations, mentoring, leadership skills, and protocol. On if the Grand Lodge of Nevada offered a multiple-day officers leadership training seminar, would your lodge support the program by requiring their principal officers to attend? 100% were in favor. On if the seminar will become a 2 or 2.5 day program, which option would you support? 87% agreed to support a 2-day program, and 81% agreed to support a 2.5 day program. On would you prefer the training seminar located at? 62% wanted 1 seminar in Reno and 1 in Las Vegas. 28% wanted seminars held in North, Central, and Southern Nevada, and only 10% wanted the seminar held at 1 location. After evaluating the information from the questionnaires and considering the information provided from past seminars, Grand Lodge of Nevada redesigned their leadership development program. The new format was renamed the Nevada Masonic Leadership Conference. In 2013, we expanded our seminars to 2.5 days with 2 seminar schedules, with 1 in Reno and 1 in Las Vegas, and was open to all officers of constituent lodges and Master Masons. A 430-page instruction book and flash drive was developed containing all of the information from the 2012 and 2013 seminars and was provided to each registered attendee. The conference included 4 different table lodge sessions. Each attendee was randomly assigned to a table lodge. The purpose of the table lodges was to take a group of brothers and allow them to bond, discuss problems and concerns, collectively find solutions, and develop counterpart support. The following is an outline of those table lodge sessions. Session 1 began with Who's Who Are You? Members of the table lodges introduced themselves and through discussions, questions, and answers began a bonding process. Each table lodge group elected a table master and secretary. The table master became the moderator. The table secretary was the record keeper tasked to write down questions needing answers, ideas, concerns, and solutions. The table lodge then began brainstorming. What's in a name? Each group was tasked to name their table lodge. The final task of this session was titled It's All About Me. Each attendee explained what they wanted out of the conference and discussed their expectations and specific items they hoped to learn. Session 2 began with You Can Talk to Me, Improving Communication. This session deals with issues facing their lodge when it comes to communications and explored ways to find solutions, what was being done to improve communications, and areas that still needed improvement. They discussed issues facing their lodge regarding leadership, their current lodge leaders, and what styles, methods, and actions that needed to take place to improve the management of their lodge. Session 3 began with the topic of a well-rounded and balanced program. What does it mean? They discussed issues facing their lodge when it comes to a well-balanced program. They shared ideas about different activities, events, visitations, programs, family involvement, youth groups, fundraising, and other doings of the lodge. The next topic was It's Getting Better All the Time. They discussed issues facing their lodge, what concerned them about their lodge, what needs to happen to make their lodge better, what is successful in their lodge and makes them proud to be a Mason, what were they frustrated with and needed help on. The discussion was all about making their lodge better. Session 4 was Evaluation Time. Each attendee completed an evaluation and provided quality feedback about the conference and suggested changes to improve it. They were provided with a take-home task sheet. This form allowed them to record what they felt was important information to share with their lodge and members. All attendees attended workshops pertaining to their current lodge office or as Master Masons. These workshops were titled Meeting Your Counterparts. The following is a brief overview. The Master Masons workshop provides information on the skills of being a brother, mentoring, protocol, Masonic charity programs, community involvement, and providing time to discuss issues and share information about their lodges. The Deacons workshop provided in-depth study of their duties and responsibilities, and they learned how to prepare themselves for advancement and begin the planning process for their year as Master. The Junior Warden workshop showed them ways to develop their administrative skills and begin the planning process for the year as Master. They received information on what to look for when observing current officers and members for appointments during their term as Master. They also learned how to develop Masonic leadership and mentoring programs for their lodge and members. The Senior Warden workshop provided information on how to improve their leadership skills and reviewed the process for successful event planning. They discussed in detail the appointment process for lodge officers and committees, lodge finances and budgeting, and reviewed the required Grand Lodge submission forms. Separate workshops for the lodge treasurers, secretaries, and trustees provided in-depth studies of their duties and responsibilities, and they learned how to improve their administrative skills, discuss budgeting, and review the required Grand Lodge submission forms. They discussed ways to reduce FTAs, NPDs, and withdrawals. 8 topics will be presented during the 2013 conference. These were the 8 most requested topics from the 2012 seminar. Grand Lecturer Training Session, Grand Lodge Structure and Operations, Improving Communication between Grand Lodge and the constituent lodges, Meet Your Grand Lodge Officers, Questions and Answers, Mentoring, Proper Investigations of Petitioners for the Degrees, Proper Use of Masonic Code and Procedures to Make Changes, Proper Use of the Red Book, a System of Lodge Instruction, The provided workbook and flash drive included all of the previous mentioned information plus 20 additional topics. These topics were developed to assist the officers to be more proficient and aid in leadership development. The selected topics were communications within the lodge, conflict and problem solving, decision making, event planning, Grand Lodge Masonic charities, installation planning, lodge business practices, Masonic youth, membership and retention, motivation and delegation, officers orientation and training course, past masters turning a potential negative into a definite positive, planning your term as master, proficiency in lodge management, protocol and etiquette, public relations, visibility in our communities, ritual, sustaining our effectiveness, the skills of being a brother, and 3 tenets and 4 cardinal virtues. The workbook also included all of the handouts, PowerPoint, and reference materials. With 2013 being our first multi-day leadership conference, we again asked each attendee to fill out questionnaires. What we learned is that we accomplished our task. The attendees overwhelmingly approved of the new format and structure. In 2012, we held a one-day seminar in Reno and Las Vegas totaling 106 attendees at no cost to them. In 2013, we went to a multi-day conference and charged a fee of $35 and the attendance increased to 210. We also learned that the table lodges and workshops were a huge success. The discussion groups were the highlight of the conference and a large majority of the attendees wanted to spend more time in discussion groups. They thoroughly enjoyed the interaction with their brothers and counterparts and realized everyone was encountering the same issues and concerns. They also liked the sharing of ideas and programs. With the first of the 2 conferences being held in Las Vegas, we learned a great deal and made minor changes to the conference held in Reno. With all of the information from 2012 and 2013 conferences being included on a flash drive, we discovered we could cut the cost of printing by reducing the information in the workbook to the actual materials being presented. We increased the number of table lodge groups, and by doing so, it decreased the number of attendees assigned to each table lodge to 10 or 12. This allowed better discussions and gave each attendee ample time to provide input and the group to find solutions. We added a 5th session to the table lodges. This session combined all table lodge groups and allowed them to share information discussed during their individual sessions. After reviewing all of the evaluations we received, the 2014 NMLC conferences will be slightly altered to meet the needs of our members. We are increasing each of the 4 table lodge sessions from 60 to 90 minutes. We also combined some of the topics and questions from each session to allow more time for discussion. The Meet Your Counterpart workshops are being increased from 2 hours to 2.5 hours, allowing more time to complete their presentations and discussions. We are adding a workshop for the masters. Many of the current masters requested a session to discuss issues, share ideas, and possibly plan multiple lodge events. They also requested information on how they can continue to assist their lodges after the completion of their term. We will present 1 or 2 of our topics presentations in video form. This will allow us to present a specific topic in less time, allowing more time for participation and discussion. This has been a brief overview of the Nevada Masonic Leadership Conference, and we would be pleased to answer any questions you may have at this time.